Hey everyone's Jackal Wolf coming at you with something different, something new on my channel. If you've been following some of my recent Prestige Run episodes, or checking me out on Twitch, you will know that I've been working on a mod pack. So the mod pack to call my own, but it's definitely something I'm going to be sending out there to share with all of you. If you've been following along, you know that mod pack is called AnimalFactory. So it is a Skyblock style mod pack because I absolutely love Skyblock mod packs, and it is going to focus very, very heavily on the resource animals. So we've got the resource chickens, we've got the fluid cows, we've got the resource hogs, and a mod that I'm not very familiar with. I'm super excited to kind of play around with it, but it's going to be the Energistic Sheep. So that's going to be our main mobs in the mod pack. I may, kind of throw some other ones in there as I kind of go along. Now, this is definitely a work in progress. What that means is it is not 100% complete. I want to say that I'm probably about 30% complete of the alpha stage. So I'm still building custom recipes for the animals. I'm still introducing some of the different resource animals into the game, as well as figuring out ways for the automation. Automation is very, very important to me, and I want to make sure that each of these animals are sort of automated in a way that's going to make this interesting. So what this is the developer diary number 1. I'm going to kind of bring you guys up to date to where I am, and then show you how you're going to get this mod pack on Twitch or on CurseForge if you want to kind of help me beta test it. So, or sorry, I guess alpha test it still, because I'm still calling this an alpha. Like I said, I'm probably only about 30% done that alpha stage. Once we get it done, it'll be a beta, and then once we get the beta through a couple of times, it will be its rating. Okay, so that takes care of the rain, at least for the moment. But what I want to do first is show you guys how to start a new world in AnimalFactory. So here we are. This is the main page of the AnimalFactory mod. I will be doing some customization with this, just not quite right away. But first off, what we're going to do is we're going to go into the single player. This is where we got all of our world lists. You can see I've got a bunch of different worlds that I've started just to kind of test out the different things in the mod pack. What we want to do is we want to create a new world, or we can create an OTG world. Both of these will work with the mod pack, though to start, let's start with the create a new world option. This brings us into our standard create a new world. More world options. What we've got to do is we've got to make sure we select the world type and switch this over to void world. So it creates a world based on the void island control configs. I'm hoping to have this set as the default. I've played around with a couple of mods that are supposed to be able to do that. I just haven't figured out how to make it work. So that's what you got to do. You got to change this to your world type void. We're going to go create a new world, and as soon as we get in there, I will show you the next step. Now, this is from the Void Island Control mod pack. So what this does is it starts you out on a sort of little bedrock island. This is not your starting island. Don't panic about that. But you can see up in the top corner there, create an island /island for help. So there's a lot of different things you can do with this. I'm going to stick with the basics for this one. But in the chat menu, we're going to go /island, create, and then we're going to put in grass. There are 3 other world types. I think there's a sand one, there's like a water one, and then there's one other type of island that you can start. This mod pack is nowhere near that point. At some point, I would like to be able to set it up so you can start from those islands to kind of give you, a little bit more variety in the world. But for now, the grass one is the one that's going to work for you. The other ones, probably you'll just end up getting stuck. You won't be able to actually progress in the pack. So /island, create grass. We're going to go select that. And there you go. We are now on top of our standard skyblock tree. So, from here, we would, break our way down. And actually, I'm just going to go, let's just break through here. And there we go. So we are on a grass island. And you see there's actually some bedrock down below there. That's kind of handy. Also, one of the mods, I don't know which one it is, but it adds sort of the sky dungeons, and none on this spawn. There are also the slime islands as well, the little floating slime islands. So that's going to be part of that. From here, you basically, do your regular, skyblock starting things. So you chop your wood, you get your leaves, you build out your platform, and you kind of go from there. What I want to do now is I'm going to show you the other world type that's available in this pack right now. And that's going to be the Create the OTG world. Now, I bumped my face cam down because there's going to be a couple of things we're going to want to look at up in the top corner. But if we select this for our world type, we are given two options, which is the Skylands and the Void. Now, this Void is different than the other Void world that I just showed you just a few seconds ago. And then the Skylands is a little bit more different than that. But let's start with the Void one. There is a Flatlands version for the OTG. You know what? It might actually work. I might add it to the pack a little bit later on. But for now, I've just got the Void and the Skylands. So for Void, we're going to hit Continue. You do get a couple of options here. It's totally up to you what you mess around with. But, I would, for now, I'm going to leave all of these, just as they are. I'm going to hit Continue here. Voids already exists as a name. We'll call this Void 2. And again, this is more just for demonstration purposes. This will give you a little bit of a different starting experience than the regular Void Island. And you'll see what I mean here in just a second. All right, so here we are. We now have started on a full-on proper island. It's got a bunch of trees, it's got a bunch of grass, flowers, there's stone already in the world. It's kind of like starting in your own little biome, really. Oh, there's one of those floating, holy cow, that one's right up to the edge of this island. I have not seen that before. That's actually kind of a funny little spawn there. But yeah, there's one of those slime islands that's part of the pack. And I'm recording this October 31st. One of the packs, I can't remember which one it is, has got a little bit of a ghosty in here. But yeah, this will give you a little bit of a different skyblock experience because you start with quite a bit more resources. But you've still got to kind of build everything from out here. I don't think there's any ores in here. It does start you off with some of these Tinker's tools, which are really, really kind of cool, and some of the materials in use. So it's definitely a little bit more of a starter pack. But, you've got water already. I actually want to say there's a thing of lava as well. I haven't played around in here too much. For some reason, I thought there might be lava. Maybe there is, and I'm just not seeing it, or maybe I'm wrong, and it's just water that you get. But that's okay. Regardless what it is, it's a very, very different sort of feeling for your Skyblock world there. So that's option number 2. Option number 3 is we're back to the OTG. We're going to click on that Skylands one. We're going to hit continue. Again, I'm going to leave everything as is for now. I'm not going to worry about it too much, but then we're going to go click OK. And then we'll take a look at this world type, and then we're going to move on to some of the things that are actually in the pack. And here we go. So here is the Skylands world type. Oh, that is interesting. Okay, so basically, you've got your regular starting island. There's a little bit, one of the books that they give you, but it's surrounded by other floating islands. So it's not just you by itself. I think that's a lucky block off in the distance. I'm not too sure, or it's a chance cube? Chance cube. I think it's a chance cube. There you go. Well, maybe because it's Halloween, they've got a different skin on it, but regardless, there's a bunch of things out there in this world. In this world, it's going to be very, very different than the, sort of a regular start on a regular vanilla. And it's really going to depend on how you want to play. So playing like this will be very, very different than playing like a regular vanilla one. But it's totally up to you. It's really comes down to how you want to play as a player and, kind of the different things that you want to experience in your experience of the mod pack. So I'm trying to make it a little bit open that way so you guys can kind of, enjoy it however you want. So that's the 3 world types. What we're going to do is we're going to jump back to my sort of pre-built world. I'm going to show you some of the different mobs and blocks that have been added, and we'll kind of go from there. Okay, so we are back. I am on this is my little starter island from that very, very first option. There is sort of bedrock under there, but I've kind of built out a platform. Very, very standard Skyblock stuff. You collected the leaves to make some bunch of dirt. You collect the wood to kind of build out your little platform there. You've got your crafting table, your Tinker's crafting table. So you've got Tinkers in the pack. One of the other things is the Ex Nihilo Creatio. This is very, very, standard Skyblock-esque starting. There are a few things right now. Nothing's really been changed as far as like the civs go. I probably will be nerfing a bunch of it to kind of focus on the animals for resources rather than the civs for resources. But you still need the civs early on. They will get you different things like, the different seeds out there, as well as the stone pebbles. The stone pebbles are become very, very important in this game because they are going to be used to craft your initial animal seeds from the animal crop. So this is not a tutorial. I'm not going to show you how to do all of these. This is just mainly pointing out the different things that are in the pack and things you might want to keep an eye out for. So you could build a sort of grass area sort of away from your spawn point and get some just random spawns from your for your animals, or you can actually grow them in the world using the animal crops, which are really, really a lot of fun. I've got watering cans in here. I have water cans as well. There's sort of two different things, as well as a bunch of different fertilizers and things like that. The one that I really, really like is the plant matter one. It's very, very simple to make. It is basically a plus sign of, pretty much any sort of organic thing. We'll end up getting you 3 of these plant matters. Axe's bone meal grows instantly, so super, super handy. There are more methods as well in the pack. It's hard to add a pack without adding a dozen different ways to do things, which is good. That's the way things should be. But ultimately, what you're going to want to do once you get your, kind of your island sort of set up is you're going to start wanting to bring in your animals. So like I said, you've got your animal seeds to kind of bring up the the vanilla ones. So I've got the 2 vanilla chickens over here. I've got pigs. I got cows behind that over there. I got sheep over there. Once you get all of your vanilla animals in your world, there's one thing that you're going to want to make. This is a custom item that I've added to the game, and that's going to be Simple Chemical J. J for Jackal Wolf. But this is going to be one of the main ingredients for not just breeding the animals. So I'm going to state this right now. You do not breed up the animals like you do in previous packs. Basically, what you got to do is you got to genetically modify them. This is how I'm going to differentiate this mod pack from some of the other mod packs out there. Just try to make it a little bit interesting so you're not doing the same thing that you always do in every single other pack. So using the mob swabs, you can collect the different DNAs from the animals, and then you can go and create this liquid simple chemical J. Beyond that, you also going to need the DNA from your animals, and I've actually used this one up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a bunch of different chicken carcasses, and then I'm going to show you something really, really quick. So using, the raw chicken, the raw beef, the raw pork, or the raw mutton in a crushing tub will get you something I call simple animal DNA. So what I've just made here is some simple chicken DNA. Doesn't show it up there, but if we go and look at the raw chicken, it's raining again. And we go use that in a crushing tub. So 1 raw chicken will get us 200 millibuckets of simple chicken DNA. This is what you're going to use to craft up all of your chickens here. The nice thing about playing with the cheats on is I can do that over and over again. Just clear up that rain. I hate recording when it's raining in Minecraft, but it is definitely part of the game, and you are going to want that because you are going to have to get water in your world. Again, couple different ways of doing it. I'm not going to tell you how to do it, but there's a couple of different ways, one of which is just to let it rain and, you get your water that way. Right now in the game, I've got what I am considering up to tier 2 of all of my animals. So there are going to be a lot more chickens added. There are going to be a lot more cows added, a lot more hogs added. The Energistic Sheep, there's not a whole lot I can do with those ones, and I'm still kind of experimenting with it, so I'm hoping I can kind of come up with something cool to do with those ones as well, but they're really the only real sheep mod out there. So it will be interesting to be using these sheep to power stuff later on in the game. But to start, we've got our, what I'm calling the tier 0 chickens, which are all of the die chickens. And then I've got some tier 1 chickens, which are, gunpowder. I got iron in there. I think that is a coal chicken. There's a spider chicken or string chicken in there. And then, tier 2, which is some of the other metals. So that's copper, sulfur, silver, and that. One thing that I've done, and I kind of agree, resource chickens have a tendency to be very, very OP, especially as you level them up, especially with the roost mod, because you can actually stack the chickens together, which really, really, increases their output. Whereas with the regular just chicken mod, it was 1 chicken per pen, so it wasn't quite as OP, but still, it's definitely, the chickens have a tendency to be OP. So in this pack, chickens produce pieces. As much as I can, chickens produce pieces. So what I mean by that is if we jump into the JEI and find our iron chicken, if we do the iron chicken in the roost, it gets us iron ore pieces. It doesn't get us iron. It gets us iron ore pieces. It's going to be the same thing with the silver chicken in the roost. Gets us the silver ore pieces. Here's the lead chicken. Gets us the lead ore pieces. These are the pieces you get from sifting. So rather than sift them, you're going to use your chickens to get them, and then you got to combine them together to get your lead ore chunk, and then you got to melt that somehow to get your lead ingot. So that's where the automation is going to come in handy later on down the game. But that's one of the things I've wanted to do in here is kind of make the chickens a little bit less OP. Now, things like the redstone chickens, they're still going to produce a thing of redstone. There's not much I can do about that. The other thing to keep in mind is I'm doing my best that there isn't any overlap between the animals. So there is no water chicken. There is no lava chicken. The lava is a fluid. Water is a fluid. That is going to be the domain of the fluid cows, which is the next one's up on our list. So anything that's a fluid is going to end up being a fluid cow. And in the fluid category, I believe I'm also going to include alloys. So things like steel, things like bronze, that's going to be sort of the purloin or the domain of the fluid cow. So we've got our, tier 0 cows here. They go on to our tier 1s and our tier 2 cows. There's probably a couple more that I'm going to add to that. There's going to be tier 3s and tier 4s for sure. Another thing with the cows, because you're going to need so much of the DNA for the different animals, as well as the chemical J's, there is the ability to make a fluid cow that will produce that continuously, just so you're not going around, running around with the crushing tub, crushing up, raw beef and stuff like that to get your chemicals that you're going to need to kind of, produce all of these animals. Same thing with the chemical J. Both versions right now have a simple version and a normal version of the DNA and the chemical J. The normal or the simple version is our sort of like our tier 1 version. Normal version is kind of like the tier 2. Basically, it's a progression. It's definitely a progression. Next up, we've got our resource hogs. Basically, there are 2 tier 0 hogs in here. That's going to be our dirt hog, and then over here it's going to be our wood hog. Everything kind of grows off of these two. So you start with your wood hog, your tier 1 hogs after that are going to be like your regular, wood hogs, as well as, off of your dirt is going to be your sand, your gravel, your clay, and all of that. And one thing I should mention is I do have a quest book. It's not 100% complete yet, but you can kind of see some of the progress charts of what's going to be going on here, how things kind of, build off of stuff. So fluid cow water, you need that to build a couple of these. Fluid cow lava, you need that to build a couple of things. For instance, the fluid cow steam requires both fluid cow water and a fluid cow lava to make a fluid cow steam. None of these are bred, though. All of these have to be built inside of the alchemic condensers. And there's the simple alchemic condenser and the advanced alchemic condenser. The simple one does the tier 1s. The advanced one will do the tier 2s. And you can see even in here, I've got bacon, ice, and I've got ice bacon in here as a resource. So and some of that normal chemical J. So a lot of mixing and matching. Now with the pigs, you can see there's our dirt hog, there's our oak log hog. Dirt, if you add heat, will become gravel. So the heat's going to be the lava. Gravel with heat becomes cobblestone. Cobblestone with heat becomes stone. And then we've also got the scorched cobblestone. That's another little branch off there. With the sand, if so dirt, you add water, you get sand. You add water to sand, you get dust. You add water to dust, you get your clay. And then there's a couple of branches off of that as well. Sand goes to glass and soul sand. And then the netherrack hog goes from the dust. I needed something to branch off for, and I didn't want to kind of branch off from cobblestone again. So that's, sort of how that tree works. It's kind of the thought process behind that. And last but not least, as far as the animals go, is going to be the Energistic Sheep. Now, this is the fun part. This is the really, really interesting and fun part. To make Energistic Sheep, you're going to have to hit a sheep with lightning. So right now, I've got 2 things in the pack that's going to allow you to do that. That's the Engraved Thunder, which is craftable with a block of redstone, a block of liquid simple DNA, and then a battery. The battery's not too difficult to make. It's just redstone, glass, and clay. So you're not going to be able to build it, right off the bat, but you're going to be able to build it, fairly early on in the game. Other than that, you got your cloud pet, which is sort of the higher tiered way of making the Energistic Sheep, mainly because the Cloud Pet also allows you basically fast flight. So it's a way of getting your creative flight, although it does run out after a while. So it's not the be-all, end-all of creative flight. But to do that, you actually need Energistic wool in the world of different colors, and then you also need a steam cow. Steam to make a cloud is kind of the thought process there. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab this Engraved Thunder. I'm going to kind of show you what we need to do. So basically, you got to be careful because you will hit yourself, but there you go. And put out the fires. There you go. We've now got 2 Energistic Sheep. If we shear these sheep with a regular set of shears, will not let me. There we go. We have now picked up some Energistic wool. So you can actually use this wool in a machine to power it. The other thing we can do is you can kind of craft yourself an Energistic shears. What this does is instead of giving you the wool, it gives you the energy right in the shears. Oh, how come that did not work? All right, let's try this again. We go. All right, so that time it worked. And you tend to get quite a bit more energy from shearing a sheep that way than you do with just using the Energistic Sheep. We'll go grab you. Yeah, so that one, I think it's about 1,200 per sheep. So, I mean, that is a good way of doing that. Now, you can also automate this a little bit. Oh, boy, there's that ghost from, I can't remember which pack it is. I got a little contest running on my Discord right now. It's probably going to be over by the time this video comes out. But the contest was to get the best selfie with that ghost. So I've got a couple of good ones. A couple of other people on my channel have gotten a couple of good ones. But again, that's sort of it's the end of October. So that's not contest, but that challenge is probably going to be replaced with a new challenge starting in November. One other block that's part of this is the sharing block. I actually, really, really like this one. But if we come in here, and this is sort of like one of the ways of automating the sharing. As soon as you guys eat up, problem is they're going to take their time doing this. So, oh wait, there he's doing it just as I was doing that. There we go. Oh, he's pushed you out of the way. There you go. So as soon as they come in contact with that, they'll end up sharing it, and you'll get your thing here. And all you got to do is set up some sort of automated task, and that's how you're going to get your wool from there. Have it fed right into machines and stuff like that. So that's actually working really good. They're eaten up pretty quick, although that grass is going to run out before I know it. One of the other things, it's in the pack. to work with the Energistic Sheep, and that's the integrated tunnels. Apparently, these will work with the Energistic Sheep. I just have not been able to figure out how to do it. So bonus points out there for anybody that can tell me how to use the integrated tunnels with the Energistic Sheep. Like I said, it's not a mod pack that I've ever worked with myself, but it's something I really, really want to integrate with this mod pack, pretty much as soon as possible. But that's going to be it for this very, very first developer diary, and it's raining. All right, there we go. So that takes care of the rain one more time. So one other thing, this mod pack is available on CurseForge and on Twitch. I will maybe, upload it to some of the other launchers, maybe sometime in the future. If anybody gives me a request, I'll kind of take a look into that. But for now, it's available on CurseForge. It's available on Twitch. If you are looking on Twitch, AnimalFactory is one word. That's something I've discovered myself recently. There will be a link below to get to it to the CurseForge page, which is probably the easiest way of getting it out there. If you're using like the multi-MC or something like that, it works really, really well. But you know what? That's going to be it for this one, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you're as excited about this pack as I am. I cannot stress enough that this is a work in progress. This is alpha at best, so expect lots and lots of bugs. Me and my community have been testing it for about a week and a half-ish, and we've already found like an absolute ton of things that I can't believe I've overlooked. But so far, so good. Hopefully there aren't too many. If you do find one, stop by my Discord page. There are a couple of channels there for reporting bugs, and I've got a list there of things that I am working on, things that I'm aware of, that I know for a fact we've got to kind of, clean up and kind of go from there. But if you enjoyed this video though, please think about leaving a like and a subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at Jackal Wolf. Also, check out the description below. There will be a link to my Discord page. I would love it if you guys stop by to say hi. As well, there'll be a link to my Patreon page. If you enjoy this channel, if you enjoy this content, you want to support, stop by, check it out. There are a lot of great perks out there for all of my supporters on Twitch and on Patreon. One of which, and I didn't mention it earlier, is the chance to get a actual quest done in your name. So I've got a couple of ones here. Now, these are quests that I've thought up for my supporters. A lot more guys out there that I've got to do some quests for. But, we got the full Edley, which is a quest to get a chest full of eggs. A lot of these are broken because I don't know how to do them quite yet. It's something that will be implemented. Something else I should mention in the quest book as well is not everything is 100%, and it's going to be changed quite a bit. There's going to be a lot more done to kind of make, the quest book work. So again, work in progress. Bear with me while, we kind of, I bumble my way through this. This is my very, very first attempt at making a very, very complex mod pack. But that is it. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.